Hey, welcome everyone to the Gray Fox Mandem, the channel that is dedicated to encouraging men as they enter the most fulfilling time of their lives. Look, I just bought this flight jacket. It's a vintage Armani flight jacket made in the early 90s. I bought it on eBay. Wanted to talk a little bit about it. But as I was thinking about it, a bigger philosophical question came to mind. Can a 54-year-old man get away with wearing a wardrobe item that's made for a much younger man? It's a pretty important topic, so we better gather around and talk about it right here in the GFM. So we're going to first talk about this jacket, what I like about it, and then we're going to segue into that bigger philosophical question. As many of you know, I do have a military history, and so I have a great affinity for the flight jacket in general. The flight jacket was born out of necessity as the military took to the sky. It was terribly cold within the fuselage of an aircraft, especially in the early days of aviation when aircraft didn't even have an enclosed cockpit. The U.S. Army, now this is before the establishment of the U.S. Army Air Corps even, began distributing heavy-duty leather flight jackets with fur collars. They became crazy popular in the civilian sector, especially after Hollywood fueled their popularity with blockbusters such as Top Gun, which was released not long after yours truly joined the military. I was a Navy flight nurse trained by the U.S. Air Force at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Here's me hanging blood from the fuselage of a CH-46 helicopter in Fallujah, Iraq in 2007. So I do have a brief history with the military aviation community. And it just stands to reason that my love for the flight jacket would carry over after my retirement into my civilian wardrobe. Now let's talk about this flight jacket in particular, where it draws from its traditional styling, as well as where it departs from it. This jacket is sized a 40 regular, which is what I wear, although I don't see any size designator by the manufacturer sewn into its interior. So I don't know if Armani made these with individual size designations or if the retailer just made all the measurements and listed it accordingly. Either way, it fits me perfectly. Although it is a little puffy, but it was made in the early 90s and that was fashionable then, as it is now. It's hand assembled from shearling sheepskin. It is 100% lined with lamb's wool in the interior of the jacket as well as the forward-facing linings of the hand warmer style pockets. Now the armholes are perhaps a little bigger than I would like, which adds to the puffy look, which is that characteristic 90s aesthetic. It ends right at the waist, as it should. It is single-breasted with a symmetrical zip-up front that doesn't overlap like a shot perfecto style biker jacket would. It is unvented and has two adjustment straps on each side of the waist, as well as an adjustment throat strap that I find particularly cool. The stitch count is 7 per lineal inch, which I found to be typical for a leather jacket. Where the styling departs from convention is in its shoulders. The shoulders on a leather jacket should extend a little bit past the wearer's shoulders to allow for layering, but this is more of a dropped shoulder or a cloaked shoulder. Also notice the use of contrasting hems, pronouncing the split yoke and the overall construction of the back. The angle of the hand warmer style pockets too carry a bit of a modern spin to it. Overall, the design was originally meant for men in their 20s back in the early 1990s. The price tag? After shipping and California taxes, I paid about $450. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Considering that original retail price was anywhere between $3,000 and $3,500 US dollars, $450 is a steal. It is a high quality item that has aged gracefully, and any wear in the leather, I feel, only heightens its character. The manufacturer was Emporio Armani. In the Armani corporate family, you have kind of a hierarchy of style. You've got Big Daddy Giorgio Armani, that's their black label design house. And then you've got the lower houses, if I can use that term, such as Armani Collezioni and Emporio Armani. Guys, let me know if you want me to do a separate video on the disparate Armani lines. It's actually pretty interesting. So Emporio Armani was started in 1979 specifically for younger men. It had a fashion-forward sense of style and a lower price tag so that younger men could afford it. So the question that is before us is, can a 54-year-old man wear a wardrobe item that was specifically made for men in their 20s? And if the answer is yes, then what would be the conditions that would have to be met in order for it to be considered appropriate? I've thought about this A lot. There are a lot of videos on YouTube right now that will kind of shake their finger at you and tell you, hey, if you're over 40, stop wearing this immediately. But I don't think they really go into why not. So first of all, let me say it. If you are dressing a particular way in order to look younger than your actual age, you're wrong. Listen to me. You're a gray fox. If you are a man in his 40s, 50s, or 60s, you're on another level. You've achieved something. If you are attracted to a woman who is younger than you are, and by the way, I use those pronouns because that's what my orientation is. Feel free to insert whatever pronouns you want, I don't care. If you are attracted to a woman who is younger than you are, do not assume that the things that you find attractive about her, she automatically would find attractive about you, because that is simply not the case. You are attractive because of what you have accomplished. You are attractive because you've lived a life. You've learned things. You have experience under your belt. You've got wisdom because of all these experiences. Why in the world would you dress to make you look younger and detract from your very strengths? Dress your age. Be the best 54-year-old that you can be. That is where your strength lies. Now, we all know that communication is at least 80% nonverbal. So if you are a 50-something and you're dressing like a 20-something, you're telling the world around you that you lack self-confidence. But you don't lack self-confidence. You're a gray fox. And what a very attractive woman said to me not long ago, confidence is sexy. So back to the question that brought us all here to this point. Can I wear this? I believe the answer is yes. And here's why I say that. I believe that as an older man, I can actually pull off a wardrobe item meant for a much younger man, provided that 4 criterion are met. Number 1, it is patterned from a timeless original. Now, in this example that we have here, this flight jacket has been a staple for over 100 years. This particular jacket does have some modern stylings, but they don't diminish from the timeless look. Number 2, it is fashion friendly, or current, or relevant. The 90s aesthetic is hot right now. This jacket was made in the early 90s and falls right into that look. Number 3, it adds to your outfit. It is not the ensemble. This is what I mean. Now, the outfit that I'm wearing today, I've got this jacket, of course, but it is combined with a simple white dress shirt made by Proper Cloth, some Ralph Lauren jeans. My shoes are Allen Edmonds Voyagers that are a shade of brown with distressed leather that is meant to pull in the jacket. And number 4, personality. That amazing woman who told me that confidence is sexy, well, she's right. This is not for the faint of heart, gentlemen. Dress intentionally. Own your look. Project your confidence as a gray fox. So guys, do you agree with those 4 points? Do you think there's anything that we should add to them? If so, let me know down in the comments. Also, do you own anything and wear on a semi-regular basis something that was made for the younger crowd? Let us all know what it is and how you pull it off. Gentlemen, I hope you got some value out of this little discussion that we had. Please add to the discussion down in the comments. Hit that like button if you think you got something out of this video. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. Peace.